it tastes bad. I don't like it. So the more sugar and syrup or whatever you got to put in there. Woody and I were in LA, and I told the waitress, I was like, I want the fruitiest drink you can come up with. I was like, I want it to be sweet and delicious. I was like, whatever Elton John would order. I was like, hook me up. And she must have taken offense to some of that. So because she brought me back this this drink full of seeds and pulp with like 8 straws in it and all this shit on top. It was a joke drink, and I think she must have charged me $20 for it or something like that.
Was there
But
even any booze in it? Like, but you can't taste the
yes,
thing.
way
you
too much.
asshole.
Way too much. It was like 8 ounces of vodka, like 2 ounces of strawberry liqueur, and like 14 straws, 15 kinds of garnish, and then a handful of seeds, just strawberry seeds that she sprinkled in. It was so awful.
That
She got
sounds
no tip.
terrible.
It's
Oh, yeah, she
the
did it on
100% food version of a drink.
Lots of chia seeds in there.
She was a real cunt. I felt like she got no tip. I felt like she did that on purpose. Really
Yeah,
made me
Kyle
angry.
was actually angry with her. Like he felt like he's like, I don't know what I want exactly, but give me something fruity, something that tastes good, sweet. Elton John would like it. Like, like he's giving her a vibe, and she came back with some nasty seed-based bullshit.
Did you
Yeah.
even drink it?
That's like, I'm actually really pleased that you said that, Kyle. You said you gave her no tip, and like my girlfriend and I go back and forth on this all the time, right? For me, it's like I tip well in general. I mean, that's what you do in general. If you have decent service, you tip well, right?
Yeah.
If you get really good service, you tip above and beyond, right?
Yep.
If you get really shit service, in my opinion, you tip low or not at all. My girlfriend is like of the mindset that like no matter what they do, you're giving them 10 or 15% minimum. It's too much of an insult to give them zero. And I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna let them get away with? I mean, like the part of your night out, like I don't for like if you're going out for a night out, you're deliberately spending the time and effort to go somewhere for like a really nice meal or something. Part of the experience is a service, right? It doesn't have to be the best thing ever, but you have to have a waiter or waitress that doesn't detract from it, right? Like
I
they
had a
don't
waitress who smelled like shit once, like human shit. So much like shit did she
Taco
smell
Bell
that
waitress?
No, this was much finer established. I believe we were at a Ruby Tuesdays.
And your
and,
Sunday
like,
finest.
When she stepped away, I looked on the floor for dog shit. I looked at my own shoes for dog shit, and I made my girlfriend do the same. I was like, our waitress smells like shit. I was like, she definitely does. And she was like, yeah. And like my girlfriend's literally like turning her head, kind of like trying not to be rude, but like trying not to be very close to the waitress when she comes. She got zero. She also got my drink order wrong 3 times back to back to back. Like the 4th attempt, she got it right. And then I didn't trust it. I had to switch drinks.
Did the
drink was
waitress
sweet tea.
notice that your girlfriend was scooting to the side? Like, did
No. She's oblivious.
Yeah.
She literally just had awful hygiene. I don't know. I was at Applebee's the other or Olive Garden the other night, and she brought me my refill like long before I needed it. Just brought a new cup of Coke, and what else did she do? I don't know. She was always lickety split with the cheese grinder, and always coming back and asking if I needed something, and refilled the breadsticks like 3 times, and she gave me more Parmesan sauce. So I tipped her like 35% or something like that. But like for real, but if the service is bad, they get 0. They get 0, or they'll even get a joke tip. Like I'll even just a dime or something.
I've
something
tipped like
so that
6 cents before just to make it an even withdrawal from my checking account.
That's kind of funny. I'll just do the math and do like $2.06 or something like that if I want to hit it even. But I usually tip well. But if it's bad service, it's a bad tip, and if it's really bad service, it's 0 tip. And I will freak out on wait staff, and I will curse. I will make a scene. I was pretty ready to throw that drink in the floor last time we were at that restaurant, and I was literally going to make a scene, because we just had gotten back from the survival trip. We hadn't eaten very much at all in days. We were all very hungry, and I'd been thinking about this meal. I knew what I wanted. And I impressed upon her that we needed this food quickly, and there was just a myriad of issues. Like she kept fucking up, and things took way too long, and I was about to have a meltdown.
Yeah, and
I wasn't too
matters
hard.
so much in that too, right? Even if like they're not that great a waitress, but if they're really giving it their fucking best and they're not like actively sabotaging it, but when you get like the fucking like lip from it too, like and they start getting cheeky with you and they're fucking up, you're like, screw this. This is just
Woody,
not worth it.
I honestly don't remember. What did I say to the waitress after the survival trip? I really was kind of out of it. I was so like tired from that thing and sleepy and hungry. Like, I don't even remember what I said.
I don't remember for sure either.
You got the video?
That's what I'm looking for. I know that I recorded it at the time.
It was awful. I was so mad, and I was mad about a bunch of stuff. It was like Chiz's coffee hadn't been refilled, and my drink hadn't been refilled, and the appetizers were like gone, and had already been late.
And I mean, the opposite is so like incredible too. Like I've had date nights just be made by like the service at like an event. Like
completely fed up with the service.
It's been so fucking long. All right, we've been sitting here so fucking long. Chiz doesn't have his coffee. No refills. This was 10 minutes late. No more bread. We're hungry. No more bread. We've been sitting here 15 minutes. Nothing. Look at this. It's clear.
This time it's not even
She
me.
asked me, which do you want first, your soup or your salad? I said, whichever one you can get to me fastest. Here she comes. Oh, she's in a hurry. She's done.
Awesome.
Should we clap for her?
She's done. She's done. You know what I just
No,
once
I was
said?
thinking she's done it. She's actually done it because she was
Oh.
coming with the food finally.
I put one of my own hairs in a entree once to get it for free because the service was so bad.
Awesome.
And it worked. Yeah.
That's a good one. I definitely made a scene one night at Outback because I felt like the waitresses were purposefully like not taking our table because it was like between two zones. Like it wasn't quite the bar and it wasn't quite a table. It was like this high top thing off to the side. And I felt like I could see them looking at us like where all the servers were. And I could definitely get a vibe that like one person was like, well, that's not technically my section. And the other person was like, well, I'm only covering that section for April because she's not here. So that can't be mine. And like they just didn't come over for 15 minutes. And finally I flagged one chick down. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Has no one waited on you? I was like, they haven't. You've been standing over there talking about me for about 15 minutes. I saw you. And before she could say anything, I was like, I want the manager. and she kind of teared up a little. She was like right as she was leaving, and I like showed no mercy. Like from the girl was like, I think she's crying. I was like, good. Maybe they'll drag her out here and let us watch her cry. Like that'd be nice. That might make me feel better. I get really upset with the poor service because I feel like it's just blatant disrespect for no reason.
How about best service? Yeah, do you have any equivalent stories of best service?
Totally.
I have one really bad one before we go to good service though.
Right.
A waitress when I was like 16. Me and a bunch of my friends were Buffalo Wild Wings. Actually, we went to go watch like a UFC fight or something there, and
did they put it on the big screen for you? Because they didn't. Fuck them. Seriously.
They did put it on the big screen, and we ordered a ridiculous amount. Like each of us ordered like 20 wings, and there's like 6 of us there. So this is the biggest order at the restaurant right now. And the lady was clearly a shitty waitress, kind of new. She had someone like shadowing her for a sec, and she went off. An hour later, she comes back with this huge plate. So we're already pissed that it took so long. But like we could only see the angle up towards the plate. We're like, oh, thank God it's here. She brings it out in front, starts placing it all down, and all of us just like immediately look at each other like, oh, our faces were downcast. We're like, these are all boneless wings. These are all just chicken tenders with sauce on them. And she's like, yeah, 120 boneless wings. And it's like, no, the one thing about the wing, there's only one adjective, and we did not say it. Not boneless, just wings. And so the manager came over, gave us like half off, and then fired her.
Really?
Because apparently she had done like these huge money wasting order mistakes for a while, like of just like, oh, you want 6 burgers? Here's a bunch of fucking French dips, fuck you. So yeah,
kind of objectively that one makes me feel a little sad because it's like shit, she probably was trying, she was just useless. That seems like so much better to me than the people who are like actively being a piece of shit towards you, right? That's the one that makes me want to just like strike back, is the people who are like deliberately doing shit to you. Like, that was the one I'd love to like watch her get fired on the spot, and I'd be like, like throwing tips to the other waitresses or something, just particularly, to see that girl suffer. But I can see that one being painful.
We had a waitress at Lone Star and Apex. I get Longhorn and Lone Star mixed up, but whatever's there.
So where's Apex to you? Because that means something different to me.
It's in North Carolina, outside Raleigh and Cary.
Okay, so it's like a town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And go on.
So the research we've done, some of the research the team that I worked with at NIU, at Northern Illinois University. APEX stands for the Arizona Power Exchange, which is a BDSM club in Arizona. So every time you say Apex, I'm like, what is he talking about? So anyways, so I'm good to know now. So go on.
Very different. Yeah.
It's not really much of a story. She was just awesome. She was quick. She was on top of it, and she got to know what we liked. I like the bread, So if there were 2 people, they used to serve half a loaf, and if there's 4 people, they'd serve a whole loaf. When I came there with just Jackie, she gave us a whole loaf because she knew that's what I liked. And I order a couple times. I get the same thing all the time. After a while, she's like, "Hey, do you want this?" Like, saying she knew our order, but she also checked to make sure that was still what we wanted, and it was really cool. She always kept the drinks filled up. She was great. I don't know how to. I don't want to be douchebag. I tipped her well every time, and then there was one time we went before Christmas where I tipped triple digits.
Wow. I immediately knock off like 2% off my tip if it's a group of more than 5 people there and the person doesn't write down the orders. If they stand there and they hands behind their back and they just memorize it for you, I think that is, number one, disrespectful, showing that you're not taking the time to get my order 100% right, because I will fucking guarantee that something will be wrong. Oh, well, they just brought out blue cheese instead of ranch. No, you know what? That's a fucking mistake. Because if
I
you
don't want it
down
now.
ranch or blue cheese, then you would have known that. Like I just think that it's shitty for them not to be taking consideration about everything you're saying. Oh, no pickles on my burger. Could you write that down? Oh no, it's all up here. Is it? I'd feel a lot fucking better if you would write it down.
I don't mind up until the point where they mess it up, and then I'm like, well, maybe if you'd written it down.
Dude.
I've said that before. I definitely have said, like, well, maybe if you'd written some of that down.
The place that's trying to be higher end, they're going to do that, right? They're going to tell their servers not to write shit down. So at some level, like I hate to punish the server for like a decision on the management level.
I've had conversations with the server about him like not writing it down before, because we'd have like maybe like 6 of us are at a Morton's steakhouse, and it's like a couple of courses
imagine,
or whatever.
Your hand on on his shoulder, like uncomfortably, like, look, I need to really tell you something about writing some shit down here now.
I got paper, like.
No, we've been like, so you memorize all that? And he'd be like, yeah. I was like, is it hard? Sometimes. I was like, you think you got ours down? He's like, oh yeah, I got yours for sure. I was like, all right, well, you better, because it's $100 steak. Don't fuck it up.